Okay, we should be good now. Just gonna make sure this bad boy is working, and then we can start. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the audio sounds fine. Almost ready to begin. We'll be good in about a minute. Alright, boom. We're good. What's good, Jax? What's good, Crockett? What's good, Nick? You don't like me very much. Well, I want Okuda now. I didn't 2 days ago, but I do now. Although I'll think about it, it is a good return. Another 2 weeks of not watching the Caps. Didn't the Caps make it at least close on the Week 5 poll with Orlando? Or no, they didn't play it. Didn't they play Orlando? No, they play Orlando Week 4. Okay, the Caps got second for Week 5, though, with Detroit. If this game is a blowout, I demand we watch KC. Well, we're only watching one game per week, obviously, but if it is a blowout, then you'll have the right to laugh at all of us who preferred the Miami-Arizona game. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals are at home, so they'd be 2, and the Dolphins would be 1. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. Siri is selected 2, so we'll use our Arizona. I think we know which jersey combo we want to rock with. Cobra really crying that we don't get to watch a 79 overall team and a team that always gets Cougar dominated over an absolute banger of a game. All in favor of all black, say aye. We're going to make this jersey picking process very quick and easy. If you win the division, prepare for a war zone. Well, you have a right to make it a war zone because, yeah, you're probably not going to win that division. Okay, I figured it would be that easy. A lot of talent on both teams. Of course, the main storylines being the quarterbacks, Alexei Smirnov and Riley Painter, both picked in the top 5 of the first draft. Although picking Smirnov over Painter was pretty laughable at the time, clearly it has paid off for Arizona. Although it finally seems like in his 4th year, Riley Painter has figured it out, at least through 3 games. Maybe we don't want to jump the gun, but he has been efficient, he's been strong, and if he performs well today in a watch game, I think it's fair to say Riley Painter is finally here. Let's go. We don't have to watch for Raiders. Yeah, you guys should probably be pretty happy that your game isn't being watched today. Maybe the Raiders are just a sim team. If Chiefs win the division, OFL 21 will never be the same. Yes, for the sake of our sanity, if it's not us, please let it be the Chargers or Raiders. And I have nothing against the Chiefs. I'd love to see Kansas City make the playoffs, just not win the division. Against your defense, he'll drop 500. I mean, I don't know about 500. All right, who do we get to see first on offense? We get to see Painter and company. Now, remember, the Dolphins don't have Jose Morales because he's hurt at running back. And I have no idea who their backup is. So, I don't think either of these teams are really going to run the ball very well. Although the Cardinals did get Sony Michel off of waivers. I suppose that's better than what they had. I still wouldn't consider it good. What's wrong with Lobra winning the division? He's going to be after all of our heads. Hate all the teams in the AFC West besides the Diablos because of the cockiness. And we win the division almost every year. So, I mean, they can be cocky all they want, but we have the results and we have the ring. Congrats, Apple, on winning this week. I'm curious to see who wins that game. Pretty big one for both, particularly Toronto. They don't want to fall to 1-3. I mean, at least the Colts have 2 wins. But Indy could certainly make a statement, prove that they're back. Painter with a strike, and it is caught. That was not bad coverage. That was just a good throw. What's good, Pokemon? Welcome in, my guy. He says, we're back. Chase Edmonds is the starter. Okay, well, I suppose it could be worse than Chase Edmonds, but that's not ideal. I mean, you would certainly prefer Jose Morales over Chase Edmonds. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Chase Edmonds is legit. What's good, Wesley? Welcome. Welcome in. Send me with Arizona, so that's going to be like the first game we see. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Your game is going to be one of the first ones because Colts start with C. That's a good point. Pretty good numbers for Mark Andrews so far. Seems like he's one of the main reasons why Mr. Painter appears to have sort of figured it out. Painter scrambling, launches a dart. So far, so good for Riley Painter and friends. Chiefs and Raiders would be even sooner. Whoever the Caps play would be super soon as well. Wait, no, it wouldn't. Because Caps is before Cardinals. Yeah, but like Chiefs, Chargers, Colts, they would all be up early. Unless we choose to go reverse order today, but I don't think we're going to do that. There's a sack for DeMarcus Lawrence. Probably the first good defensive play for Arizona this game. Took them a little bit, but they did something. Von Miller was out. I think everybody else is healthy on the defense, at least. I can't say the same about the offense. Or maybe I spoke too soon, because now they do have a new injury on defense. Simmons is down. Third and 15. Painter throws in the back of the end zone. So the Cardinals do get a stop. Octi literally hates me. I don't hate you, good sir. I just dislike your team. It's because Corvette has an OFL Bowl MVP. I don't think Tax Strati does. Not going to be here for results because maybe if I'm not here, EA will be nice to me. Oh yeah, because last time you were gone for 2 minutes, and you won. When you want to play some Diamond Dynasty, but the show's servers are down, that's an oof. Made an offer Nick can't refuse. Oh my. Better not involve any of the players I might be about to get from his team. Wink, wink. Oh, whoever wins does not brag in each other's face. Oh, I thought you meant like a trade offer. Okay. I'm dumb. Here comes Arizona, led by Alexei Smirnov, who's been fine to start. I mean, Smirnov's been good. Has he been MVP good? I don't know if I would say that, but he has been good, and he needs to be like an MVP, considering his main sidekick, of course, Alvin Kamara, is injured. Thompson still gets the first carry. First and 10 at the 37-yard line. Shoddy doesn't need one name. His name deserves a natty in its own right. Pascuda City Shotties. Wow, what a name! Where's DK? DK is currently rotting in Houston with all their other 17,000 receivers that they have. I'm pretty sure he's their best one, though. says a lot because it's no secret that Houston has invested a lot of money in the wide receiver position. Offered a very good wide receiver, a young corner, and 2 draft picks for a very good corner of mine who I really don't want. Well, for the corner you don't want, I offered 1 pick. Madden Sim League. What we use is EA Arcade. Well, I mean, technically, I guess it's a Madden Arcade League if you want to be specific, Apple. But, yeah, Arcade is funner to watch than Sim. 3rd and 7. That was a bad pass, and they're not in field goal range. Why is Smirnoff throwing 2 passes? Last week when we watched them, they ran the ball like 5 times. And they won that game. Why are they totally changing it up? Oh, what a punt! It's not an all caps what a punt, but it's still down at the 10, so it still kind of counts. Gonna be doing a podcast with one of your friends tonight. Cool, cool. Well, good luck. TikTok boy, Notre Dame edition. Oh, Mr. Claypool. AKA the lesser Corvette boy. Chase Edmonds is kind of having a good game. Who needs Jose Morales when you have Chase Edmonds, right? And that will conclude quarter number 1. Dolphins up 3-0. Riley Painter definitely looks the part. Through 1. We'll see if he can keep the train going. Assuming the Jets regress, I would have to think the Dolphins are probably the easy favorites in the AFC East because New England looks pretty bad again. The Bills look bad. Oh my goodness, what a dot! I believe for Darius Slayton, probably. Who else would that be? Yeah, that is Darius Slayton for 34 yards. The Miami Dolphins offense is looking really impressive. Haven't lost yet. Dab on them. Your best cornerback gets burned, of course. Of course. Where's planted the OU flag on Nick's favorite team's logo, but is still the top Riding boy? He is in Carolina. Fire still coming to. Remember when you guys were down like 10-0 after the first quarter in week 2 and still won? I wouldn't panic yet. If things get really bad today, maybe I would. But the Dolphins only have 6 points, assuming they get the field goal, as it's a lot with the sack. The Dolphins have had 2 really strong drives, but they have not been able to find the end zone. If the Cardinals score a touchdown this next possession, they would have the lead. Even though it feels like through the first, what, like 10.5 minutes, the Dolphins have been the significantly better team today. We beat the Fins, therefore we should beat the Cards. Well, that would make sense, but unfortunately football is not that simple.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. 51's the mic.
Mayfraud will never win. Well, Mayfraud's won an OFL Bowl too. So, seems like Thompson's getting more of the load than Sony Michel.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Texans are the best. I definitely believe that. Back to Thompson wasn't even the starter before Sony Michel. It was Justin Jackson. I am major confusion. That's his motivation. Anytime his team is down early, he just yells fire sale when his team decides to do well. There's Sony Michel. I was wondering where he was. He says, okay, 79 overall. Well, 79 overall here is 3-0, so technically he does have the right to talk at the moment. And only one other team at the moment can say they're 3-0. Apple, you're 4 feet. You can't talk.
The pass. Complete to number 89. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the Dolphins.
Man, Arizona is really trying to run the ball. I mean, it's sort of working on this drive. I don't get it. Because, I mean, we know the Cardinals are a pass-first team with Alvin Kamara healthy. With Kamara not healthy, that shouldn't turn them into a run-first team. But Smirnov has not looked that great so far. Imagine if he makes the playoffs. Well, that would be pretty wild. Especially considering the AFC South is sort of good. Thompson's looking good for a 5th-round rookie. I mean, Thompson hasn't even been that bad today. You're definitely right. I think he's averaged over like 5 yards a carry, which is quite impressive. But I'm still a little bit confused why the Cardinals are really trying to run the ball so hard.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Third and 7. Here's a passing game. I think that's the speedy John Ross to the 6.
That's good for a Cardinals. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now Arizona feels to be coming alive. Imagine if the Cardinals take the lead here. How many red zone sacks have there been today by both teams? This one by Rashaan Evans. Both teams have had really good drives, but that have gotten derailed by sacks in the red zone. It's sort of odd.
14-yard line.
Facts Apple. Hashtag Lobra. Huh. Raiders should win by a bit. Considering it's a sim game, I guess they should, because clearly the Raiders are only good in sim. And the Cardinals do score on 3rd and goal. N'Keal Harry, who's been one of the few bright spots for his team this year. He gets a touchdown. Your mom has been gone for an hour, and now my anxiety is coming out. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Chief.
Makes the score Cardinals 7, Dolphins 6.
So with 57 seconds left in the half, the Cardinals have the lead. It doesn't feel like they should have the lead, but at the end of the day, it's not which team plays better, it's which team has more points on the board. So, I don't think Arizona could be too upset at the moment.
Take over 1st and 10.
Haven't seen Lobra take a W in a while. More like haven't seen him take a W ever. Except for his OFL team starting the year 3-0. Miami has all 3 timeouts. Well, let's see if Riley Painter can lead a 1-minute drill down the field. That's not a great start. Now, he did throw out of a sack. Credit to him. OFLW's Jack Diddley squat. Well, I mean, through 3 weeks, I mean, we've seen teams start seasons off really hot and completely collapse. That should have been intercepted. Wow, that was close. Cobra wins the division. I am never going to let it go. As he shouldn't. We cannot let Cobra win this division. Or Lobra, I should say. What is Painter doing? Somehow breaks the sack, and this works. Oh, it's intercepted. That would have been so insane if he completed a pass. And now the Cardinals have an opportunity to put up more points on the board before halftime. Pretty sure that's Painter's first interception all year. Smirnov is in the zone. The momentum of this game has completely flipped on its head. The entire AFC West owns you, Lobra. Oh, you're never going to let IT let it go. Oh, yes. I think, yeah, Cobra winning the West would be worse for IT than me, because that would be IT's old team. Showed up right when we kicked the field goal, so you're going to head out. Yeah, pretty much ever since then, it's been downhill for you guys. You guys were dominating before the field goal, even though it was only 6-0. You guys were looking really good, and now you have completely gone downhill. It's still only a 4-point game, assuming the Cardinals make the kick, which they do. So it is 10-6. Through the first half, the Dolphins dominated the first quarter, and the Cardinals pretty much dominated the second quarter. Remember when Bacher said fire sale after his team was down 6? Yeah, once Bacher hits the panic button, his team completely flips the switch. And Arizona starts with the ball in the second half, too. You literally owned the Diablos last week. Well, we're soon going to own you in the standings. When do we play the Chiefs again? Because I would pay to watch that game. Let's see. When do we play Kansas City? Week 13. Diablos at Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs are going to be out of running by then. Threatening a fire sale. Oh, yeah, exactly. It seems like your team always figures it out. Once you say fire sale, that seems like the magic words. You swim. Your opinion is invalid. Damn, that's kind of cold. Get back at him, Apple. Get back. Okay, we don't need to see the replay. We've already seen John Ross make a lot of great plays here before. Remember when John Ross caught that Hail Mary in the divisional round against Toronto a few years ago? Because, yeah, that was him. We're going to own you in the standings soon. I mean, if we play better than them, am I wrong? Oh, it's a strip sack for Miami, and it looks like the Cardinals quickly picked it up. Harold Landry with a big play. If nothing else, that pushes them back 6 more yards. If the Dolphins get a stop on this drive, they can get back in the game. Not that they're out of it, but it doesn't feel good for them at the moment. Oh, I thought that was intercepted. How did that work? Oh, my goodness. John Ross has made multiple big plays today. I don't think Devontae Adams has been targeted once, by the way. What's with that? Aren't we free agents this year? Yes, I'm going to explain that probably within the next couple days, how the first batch of user players can sign extensions if they want. I mean, it's up to the player and the team. But I'm going to be explaining that pretty soon. Scuda, after he gets his upgrades, will be unstoppable, sadly. The AFC West will be done after that. Cardinals score again, but remember when IT was like a 70 overall and he was a beast, and he got 10 upgrades, and then he was like worse as an 80 overall? And Scuda's not even going to have 10, he might have like 4 or 5 at most. Remember when we thought the Dolphins were dominating this game? Now the Cardinals have a legit shot to turn this game into a sim if Miami doesn't get their act together. By the time Week 13 comes around, the Chiefs will have already clinched the division. Yeah, you see, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Just because the Chiefs have been the best team in the league through 3 weeks, no. Imagine having a user player. Facts. Couldn't be me. Maybe I would if I was allowed to draft, but here's the thing. I can't. That's not an ideal start. Losing 3, the coach looks pretty ticked off. If the Chiefs lose 2 games today, they're not winning the division. I mean, I wouldn't say that just because it's only 2 games in the early part of the season. But if they do lose 2 games, then Cobra ain't really going to be able to talk. Or should I say Lobra, excuse me. Don't trust 79 overall team. I don't trust the Chiefs yet either. I mean, they made the playoffs last year. They've looked good this year. Scuda appears to be back in his possible MVP form. How was that not intercepted? That was right in his hands. But I don't know. I don't trust the Chiefs defense. I don't. Riley Painter equals can't paint this dub up. Yeah, well, Riley Painter does not look good today. He still had a good year, but maybe we overhyped the Painter is possibly the MVP through 3 weeks talk. Chiefs. Oh, yeah, you're right. They did. They were the only team in the division not to make the playoffs. That's right. I forgot. The Chargers and Raiders made it. We made it, but they didn't. My defense figured out this isn't golf. They certainly have figured it out. And if the Cardinals score a touchdown on this drive, it turns into a sim in favor of Arizona, which, after that first quarter, I would have told you if that happened, I would be shocked. Scooter got benched for Jared Goff for a reason. Well, you would have to ask EA why. Third and 13. Smirnov's under a little bit of pressure. Can he get rid of it? Nope. Just some more EA pocket awareness. He went all the way down to the 7. Chris Jones and Joey Bosa each get half a sack. Chris Jones, the former Thunderbird. Painter gets it to Mark Andrews, who's already past midfield. If the Dolphins get on the board this drive, they're right back in it. Miami is not out of this game at all. Miles Jack is injured. Okay, that's significant. Because Miles Jack is quite good. Is he going to the locker room? That's a question. No, okay, he's totally fine. The Dolphins are in field goal range, but they've already scored 2 field goals today. They've already had opportunities to score touchdowns, and they haven't. So I think the last thing they want is a field goal. And that might be what happens. Chase Edmonds did not get the first down. 4th and 1, you're down by 11. I think they should go for it. There's a minute left in the 3rd quarter. I think they should go. Wow, they are. I didn't think they would. Credit to you, EA. I'm impressed. And they got stopped. Wow. Arizona's defense comes up strong. I don't think that was a bad call. I just think they executed it poorly. If this is a blowout, I will rain. Well, it's not a blowout, but if the Cardinals score a touchdown, it is a sim. Octi is a fraud. Octi is a fraud. He gets to see the draft class and gets all the gems. Octafraudle, once again, being a fraud. He also has a Mickey Mouse ring. Shame on you, Octafraudle. Wow, I'm really hurt. Ow, I'm in pain after reading that. Yes, run it up the middle. Genius play call. Way to get creative on 4th down when you're down by 11. Seems like Miami's run defense is starting to do a little bit better. Hey, Sony Michel has 6 carries for 9 yards. Nice. That'll do it to the 3rd quarter. Cardinals add to their lead as it is 17-6. Arizona appears to be in a good spot to get back up to 500. Woo! What's good, Colin? Welcome. Welcome in, my guy. Wow, that hurts. On 3rd down, a deep shot for Devontae Adams, who's done nothing today, by the way. Until now. 14-21 L, 31-28 dub, 21. Those are all close games. Wow. I didn't realize your 3 games were all that close. There's Devontae Adams again. So Devontae Adams does nothing through 3 quarters and then turns into Devontae Adams pretty much in the 4th quarter. Oh, he has 90 yards? Are we watching the same game? Because it feels like Devontae Adams has done nothing before those 2 plays. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, the Cardinals score the touchdown, and it is sim time. 24 unanswered from Arizona, the first career rushing touchdown for Thompson. Ah, yes, fun times when the Dolphins were dominating after the first quarter. Who wants to lose more? I think both teams want to lose. I'm curious to see how Riley Painter does in the sim. You got Lawton has 2 sacks today, the rookie. 4th and 7. Painter rushes for 2. They're just going to choose some clock. Cardinals out a field goal. We can start to go faster. This game's over. 30-6 with the final 30 points being scored by Arizona. A statement win over the red-hot Riley Painter and the Cardinals. Riley Painter definitely looked like the Riley Painter we've seen through the first 3 years today. Now, I'm not ready to say that Painter sucks again, but this was not a good look either. We voted this for nothing. Well, at least we got to see how Riley Painter looked in a watch game, and spoiler alert, he did not look very good. 16 of 23. Ooh, nice completion percentage, though. Did throw an interception. Smirnov did not have to do a ton, but he was really efficient. Nearly at a perfect passer rating. Cameron Thompson, the rookie, had a nice game out of Bethune-Cookman. Chase Edmonds did good, all things considered. So what is the next game? The next game is your game. The Cougars and the Eagles will be the Week 5 game. John Ross was a machine today. It feels like John Ross did way more than Devontae Adams, and they had very similar stat lines, which is odd. Cade or Zion? Cade, easily, obviously, of course. I'm half kidding, but that is what we like to hear, yes. Husker just said in the off-topic general, Octi, Pistons are taking Book Night at 1. What do you mean? Apparently we do really like Book Night, from what I've seen on Twitter. But that would be pretty bad. I don't know if I'd be able to stay a fan of this team if we pick James Book Night at 1. Alright, I don't think we have to do anything prior to simming. So let's see what happens here throughout the rest of Week 4. If Austin Buckley does really good again, does he become the official MVP favorite? Okay, so it looks like the Rams lost again. The Niners won, and Portland lost, I think? I think that's how it all worked. The Chargers lose again. Not to the fault of IT or the offense, as they... Oh my goodness, the Chargers allowed 28 points in the fourth quarter. San Diego was up 28 to 14 going into the fourth quarter, and they lost. Ouch. Ouch. Both quarterbacks threw 4 touchdowns. IT did throw 2 interceptions. Wasn't the most efficient, but he wasn't bad either. Carry on had a nice game. Akers, Howard, they both scored. Yeah, this would have definitely been an interesting game to watch. The chat would have definitely been interesting. I imagine this game was on the poll because I think the Saints are good. The Chiefs lost! Yes! 31-15. So the Raiders are now 3-1. Maybe I shouldn't be too excited because that's more competition for us. Scooter played well, despite losing. Scooter's been outstanding in the 3 games he's played. Marvin Jones was okay. Not bad, but not great. C. Bush ran for 3 touchdowns. C. Bush has been a machine this year. Holy smokes. Gregory Chance had a touchdown. He's been really good. What did Marlon Mack do? Marlon Mack has not been very good for Kansas City so far, and he was a beast in Detroit before he got hurt. So KC and Vegas are both 3-1. And we're not too far behind either. So it looks like the AFC... Oh, wow, the Colts do end up beating Toronto. 21-16. If Pro is still inactive by the time free agency hits, you're signing with another team. I wouldn't blame you. Both quarterbacks are pretty bleh. Small threw 2 interceptions. Doris was a little bit more efficient, but his passer rating is surprisingly lower. But we'll both be 2-2, so it's all good. I don't know about that, Chief. It looks like Nick's luck of leaving when his results show up. It looks like that luck thing is ended after like 2 times. Kenny Clark had 2 sacks. Billy Costigan, wow, what a game. And then interceptions for Morphus McCollum, the rookie, and Vic McAllister. Cougars beat the Bengals 37-31 in overtime. 413 passing yards. That's a lot. DR3, holy smokes. 392 yards and 4 touchdowns. DR3's been a machine this year. And Lamar was good too. Tony Pollard had a busy game. Jimmy Conley was really good again. Conley's been an Offensive Player of the Year candidate through 4 weeks. He's been a machine. He has at least like 6 or 7 touchdowns, I think. So I'm curious to see how the Red Hot Cougars do in Week 5. Dallas had a much-needed bye week. Yes, we do beat the Jets. We get revenge on the Jets after they eliminated us in the postseason last year. 132 rushing yards. Has Dalvin Cook finally figured it out? Wee! Oh my goodness, Phil Chippendale threw 4 touchdowns. Sweet! Matt Ryan threw a lot of yards. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Dalvin Cook wasn't even all that like special, but we stopped Derrick Henry. He only had 29 yards. A.J. Brown had a big game. Corvette Boy 7 for 105, better than Tax Shoddy. Christian Kirk scored twice. Dalvin Cook had 2 receiving touchdowns. Okay, so I guess Dalvin Cook did have a good game. Devin White, 12 tackles and an interception. He was busy. Who is Eddie Cowan, and why did he get 2 sacks? Hey, Jelani Salami. He had a sack as well. And an interception. Wow, okay, Jelani Salami. And then the Eagles get killed by San Francisco, 13-35. Has Austin Buckley come back down to earth? Because he got way outplayed by Justin Herbert. I mean, Buckley's still having an outstanding year, but not his best performance. Miles Sanders was quite good. How much did you lose by? You guys lost by 5? Hold on, we'll get back to this score in a second. Was it 5? Yeah, 21-16. That's what I thought. We are on receiving. Scuda better than Buckley. I assume that's who Fraudley is. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, Scuda hasn't had a bad game this year. Buckley had a bad game this week. 2 sacks for Dexter Lawrence and Derek Brown. Jose Bunsuave had a sack. 3-1 now to start tanking. The Jaguars finally win, and they win by 30. I mean, beating the Titans isn't a huge accomplishment, but still. Quite the win, quite the game from last year's MVP, Joe Burrow, who threw 4 touchdowns. I did not know Tyree Jackson was their backup. Now I'm like a certified Jaguars fan. But the Colts have my guy Eddie Small, so who am I supposed to root for? Am I supposed to root for the Colts or the Jags? Teddy Bridgewater did not have a good game. Eckler and Madison were both pretty good. Picasso Grubbs, 10 carries, 20 yards. Yikes. So even when I'm not here, EA throws at the middle finger. Yeah, pretty much. David Njoku scores twice. Charlie Buckwheat allowed 2 sacks. It looks like Chase Young got both of them. And interceptions for Lewis and Gladney. Whoever left this KC team in this state deserves to be jailed. Ooh, the Lions beat the Rams 38-30. Detroit is now 3-1, correct? Yep. Looks like the Lions are legit. Russell Wilson did not throw for a lot of yards. He did throw 3 touchdowns. Seems like the reason why the Rams are losing is not at the fault of Keith Priolia, who throws 3 touchdowns today. DeAndre Hopkins with a big game. Jim Kelly scores twice. Devin Asiasi also scores twice. The Lions appear to be legit. Norris didn't even have that bad of a game. You don't know how he had a lower passer rating. Yeah, I was surprised by that too. But math is weird. Ooh, Green Bay beats Portland. I did not see this coming. 24-21. Looks like Katie Katz rebounded after his 5-interception game. You could argue he outplayed Patrick Mahomes, although both had pretty similar numbers. Josh Jacobs played well. Kasim Lamb scores. This dope scores. How many drops did... Oh, it won't show. He probably had at least like 10. So I believe both of these teams are now 2-2. I think. Pat Cannon did get 2 sacks. Julian Love had an interception, but it did not matter. Bucks. Carolina on a 3-game win streak after losing their first game. Baker Mayfield throws 4 touchdowns. Jordan Love was pretty good, too. Jordan Love also had a rushing touchdown. It's like he scored 4 times. And still lost. New England had a bye week. Why are all the bad teams getting bye weeks? The Raiders won. The Rams lost. The Ravens also had a needed bye week. The Saints won. The Caps beat Orlando 26-14. It looks like Columbus had 5 points in the first quarter. So I'm going to assume they had a safety of some sorts. Tua Tagovailoa and Carson Wentz were both, not bad, but not great. Todd Gurley scores twice. Sterling Shepard had a nice game. The top 3 receivers were all for Columbus. I guess that makes sense because Carson Wentz had like double the amount of passing yards that Tua had. And then who had the safety? Tack McKinley did. Is Columbus 3-1 now? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. After them, the next team would be Memphis. They had a bye week. Steelers get a win, and they beat the undefeated Bulldogs. So, through 4 weeks, nobody is undefeated, now that Kansas City and London have both lost. Did the Texans win? I don't think we've gotten to the Texans yet. They might have had a bye week. Jacob Eason in his Steeler debut throws 3 touchdowns, and Deshaun Watson sucked. How many teams are winless? I know some of the 0-3 teams who didn't play. Nick Chubb scored twice, but how many teams are 0-4? I don't think anyone is. 1.5 sacks for Mack Wilson and Dwayne Elliott. An interception for Jamichael Billingsley. The Texans did win. Houston is 3-1, and they beat the Bills by 31 points. Albeit Buffalo sucks, but sheesh. Oh my goodness, did Dak get hurt? Jalen Hurts be playing. I think Dak might have gotten injured, which is a pretty big deal because Dak has been surprisingly kind of good. Stafford has not been good this year. He's been atrocious. Nobody really ran the ball well. Carter does score. Is Houston... Are we disrespecting Houston? Are they good? Are they good? I'm pretty sure that's everybody. We know the Bills. We know them. Yeah, that's it. All right. Week 4 is in the books. Nobody in the league is undefeated. Everybody has lost at least once. And there aren't many winless teams. The only 2 winless teams are teams who just had bye weeks. New England and Dallas. This is good. This is parity. We want parity. AFC North, currently the Cougars appear to have the edge. The Cougars have won the division, I think, every year. AFC South, Houston and Indy are tied. Jacksonville has a positive point differential. That's interesting. The AFC... The Bills are 2-2? I thought they sucked. I mean, their point differential is really bad. But, okay, I didn't realize they had 2 wins. AFC West is quite close with the Raiders, Chiefs, and Diablos all 3-1. The Lions are 3-1. They lead the North. Steamers are 2-1. Carolina 1 game ahead of everybody in the South. In the East, Columbus and London are tied. Eagles right in the mix. And then the Snowhawks, Cardinals, and Niners have a three-way tie in the West. Stafford is atrocious, just like real life. We do not slander Mr. Stafford in here. Weekly awards, Jimmy Garoppolo, DR3, Morphus McCullum, and Billy Costigan. Cool beans. Alrighty, on to week 5. I think the Eagles are home? I think. Yeah. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. Siri really likes the number 2 today. So we will be using the Eagles. Hunter Renfrow is frustrated. Doesn't Hunter Renfrow like lead the league in receiving yards? Why'd I go into depth chart? Hold on. Doesn't Hunter Renfrow lead the league in receiving yards? Or he's got to be top 5. Him and Conley are probably 1 and 2. Which is ironic because they're playing against each other. Yeah, see, Buckley's still having a great year. Isn't Hunter Renfrow right at the top? Hunter Renfrow leads in receiving yards by 61. And look who's second. It's Corvette Boy. Does he lead in touchdowns? He's tied for first with Conley. Receptions? Top 10. Why is he frustrated? All right, any specific jersey combo we want for the Eagles? When was the last time we watched the Eagles? Because the Eagles have never really been good in OFL 21. But this year appears to be different. They're an 84 overall. They have a good roster. So do we want home? Do you want black? There's black again. Do we want like the Kelly green? Okay, so do we want throwbacks? Regular? We don't want that. That's hideous. Do we want throwbacks, regular homes, or blacks? In the meantime, let's take a look at the only 5 X Factors: Jair Alexander, Deion Jones, Jose Bunsuave, Jaquan Gore. Have we ever watched Jaquan Gore? I don't know. I'm curious to see what he does. And Demario Davis. And then here are all the superstars. What more do you want, Renfrow? I don't know. I mean, Hunter Renfrow has been the best receiver in the league this year. I don't know why he's frustrated. And his quarterback, Austin Buckley, is on pace to throw like 44 touchdowns. So I don't know why he's frustrated. I guess just because he had one bad game. What are the choices? We have the regular or homes. We have the black color rushes. And we have the throwback greens. So so do we want light green, dark green, or black? That's pretty much it. It'd be sort of sad if the Eagles just started to suck again. I mean, they were actually doing well through 3 weeks. And they get killed by San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco's better than they were last year, but that doesn't really say a whole lot. Because they were pretty bad. Throwback green. If nobody else has a vote, we'll do throwback green. Your best player is a 60-year-old DeCastro. I don't know why everyone is hating on you. Why do I hear a jet in your... Oh, that's the PlayStation. The PlayStation 4 is really loud. Luckily, this won't be an issue with OFL 22 because the PS5 is not that loud. But the PS4 has always been like... I'm not even that close to my PS4. I'm like kind of far away from it. But it's still kind of loud. And I mean, it's been doing this for years. So it's nothing new. Another for throwback. Well, too late. I already picked throwback. So you still get your wish. Here we go, some Week 5 action. Very sunny day here at the Link. As the Cougars, led by Daniel Romer III, who has been phenomenal through 4 weeks, taking on the Eagles, led by Austin Buckley, who's also been phenomenal through 4 weeks. Both of these two have come out of nowhere as surprise MVP candidates. Although Buckley was not very good last week, he's still been outstanding. How are we going to do the new franchise stuff? I really don't know. I would have to get my hands on the game and kind of figure it out. And luckily, there's going to be a few weeks in between when Madden 22 comes out and when we start OFL 22. So doing the coordinators is going to be a little bit complicated, and the scouting as well. The scouting is going to be really weird. I don't know how we're going to do that at all, but I'll figure out something. Put it that way. How did you guys do week 4? You guys lost to the Packers. I don't remember by how much, but I think it was pretty close. But you still lost. Now we have to watch the Colts soon. I agree. I would like to see the Colts soon as well. David DeCastro is released. What? The Steelers cut him? Hmm? Why would they do that? I know he's regressed a little bit, but I don't see anything on the internet that says he's been cut. Hold on. Let me open up Twitter. I don't see anything. According to Schefter or Woj, at least. Huh. Can I see your fastest wide receiver after this? Want to know my slot. Okie dokie, I can do that, Chief. So far, so good for the Eagles. I wonder how Hunter Renfrow is going to do in a watch game. Because he's been quite good in the sim, because he's playing in the slot. We know Madden has an obsession with slot receivers. Pelissero said it? Okay, well that explains it, because I don't have my notifications on for him. Oop, there you go, yeah. Steelers have released veteran guard David DeCastro. There you go. I guess they're trying to save some dough. It still feels a little bit odd, though. I mean, I'm pretty sure he wasn't as good last year, but still, that's a surprise. Eagles up at 21. Here they go. Thought he was saying he was cut from his team to the OFL. That would have been funny, especially considering Cobra was just talking about him like a minute ago. I think there's Big Hunter. Buckley is 5 for 5 with 61 yards. Kids, this is why you don't give up on your quarterbacks, because they can somehow flip the switch. You were about to run to the waiver claim. Well, waivers don't open during streams, so you would have had to be like alert right when the stream ended. Oh, I thought that was intercepted. Wow. The Eagles are lucky. That one looked like it was picked off. I guess not. Third and goal. Buckley just throws a check down. Why do these teams suck in the red zone today? The Dolphins sucked in the red zone, and it kind of bit them in the butt. Not that they didn't get blown out, but had they scored touchdowns instead of field goals on those early drives, maybe they could have done something. Eagles do get points on the board, and a good first drive from Buckley, but certainly felt like they could have gotten more. So now we get to see the Cougars, who dominated the Raiders week 1, and that says something, because the Raiders have been really good since week 1. The past 3 weeks, you could argue that the Raiders have been the best team in the league. They beat the Chargers by 40. They beat the undefeated Chiefs. So blowing out what appears to be a good Raider team is quite something. Led by Daniel Romer III, who has been outstanding through 4 weeks. He threw a bunch of interceptions last year. This year he's thrown none. Wally, DeCastro, Blythe, Martinez, Tyron would have been a nice offensive line. That would have been pretty nice. Not as nice as mine with James Daniels in 4 mid-70s, of course. Oh yeah, Joe Mixon is hurt. I forgot about that. So I guess Malachi Kidd is the starting running back. I totally forgot about that. Why did I not notice that? I guess because Daniel Romer was so good in week 4, I didn't even notice her rushing stats. But I'm pretty sure Joe Mixon was what? Gonna miss like 3 or 4 weeks?
At the 36-yard line.
Now, Malachi Kidd, I think, has been pretty good this year for the Cougars. That should have... How many dropped interceptions have we seen today? Take a shot every time there's a dropped interception, and then at the end you're going to be completely wasted. Because there have been a lot today. Third and 5. Very risky throw, and it's caught. Ballsy play by DR3, but it paid off.
Complete to
Miles Boykin with the first down.
2 yards. First down, Cougars. Another carry for the running back. He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
And that'll do it for quarter number 1.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Although there's not a lot of points, it does look like both offenses are playing pretty well so far. The Eagles brought it to about the 5. Couldn't find the end zone. They had to kick a field goal. And the Cougars appear to be doing pretty well on this first drive.
The running back again, the ball carrier.
Although they kind of need a conversion because they're in like prime field goal miss range where it could start to get a little bit ugly if they say throw an incompletion here. And that is exactly what happened. So they can go for a 52-yard kick, which it looks like that's what they're going to do. I don't know who the Cougars kicker is. He's a lefty, and it looks like this one is drilled. Oh, he nailed that. That was a beauty.
That ties the game at
The southpaw sniper, I think that's Ricky Lee. I think that's his name. Steelers' biggest need is the O-line. Also Steelers. Let's cut our best one.
the Eagles take over the first.
If only we needed offensive line, and then I would want to get him. But we don't. We just need everything else. Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney are going to feast on the Steelers' offensive line.
First and 10.
Yeah, I mean, DeCastro isn't a tackle, but still. That Steelers' offensive line's looking kind of rough. Lefties for the win. Righties are cooler. Ricky, okay, his name is Ricky, that's what I thought. Because I know there's Markley, former Diablo legend.
5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
2nd and 5, Buckley with a strike. And Austin Buck, both quarterbacks have looked the part. We have seen a lot more of Buckley than we have DR3, but both look good. Hunter Renfrow, 4K. Oh, that's Isabella. Oh, I thought that was Renfrow. I think you can probably put the pieces together why I assumed that was Renfrow. But, yeah, I guess Andy Isabella's the one having a good game today.
Buckley's pass complete to number 35. A gain of
How much is... Wait, no, Austin Buckley's already under a large contract. I was about to say how much would he want, because I know he's in his 4th year, but he was undrafted, and he signed that big deal after his rookie year. Buckley is sacked, I believe, by Jaden O'Neal. There's a big defensive play.
a 7-yard loss brings up
Now it is 3rd and long. Don't throw it to 35, please. Oh, he didn't even get to throw it. Another sack for Jaden O'Neal, his 2nd in a row. I was fully expecting him to throw a check down of a running back, but I guess he would have been better off doing that, so maybe he shouldn't listen to me. We play the Packers this week. Yep, easy L. Well, you better hope you get 5 interceptions off of Katie Katz, because we know Katie can do that.
they'll take over first down and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Steelers saved 8.7. Well, yeah, clearly they wanted to save some money. I guess that's why they did that, but I mean, Najee Harris is good, but he's not going to be good when, you know, there's players swarming the backfield.
The pass. Complete.
Poor guy. He's going to get wasted there. Maybe he should take his talents to, like, Detroit. Be the third stringer for us. Haha, Jags. Easy. I wouldn't call the Jags. I know they won by 30 this week, but, I mean, it's not like they've been outstanding this year. You know, I want a tight end, but it's hard to find. Well, I think there are a bunch of good ones on waivers. Because nobody went after tight ends in free agency except for, like, the top, like, 2 or 3 guys. I think a lot of the better tight ends have been signed, but I think there are still some good ones, like, low 80s. I'm willing to trade Hawkinson because I'm not trying to pay him, so if you want Hawkinson, I am absolutely open to business.
The pass. Complete to number 15. A gain of 6 yards. And it's third down. Number 25, the ball carrier. Michael Velarde in punt formation.
2-minute warning, still tied at 3. I don't think we've seen a single punt today.
Velarde in
No, wait.
formation.
No, the Eagles did. Why did I say that? The Eagles punted on their last drive, and the Cougars are doing that now. So both teams have punted. I'm stupid. That one goes in the end zone for a touchback.
The Eagles take over first and
So the Eagles are going to have just under 2 minutes and all 3 timeouts to drive down the field and try to take the lead before halftime. He's going to throw it to the running back. Yep. And it works out! Jaquan Gore gets the first down. Buckley is 12 of 13.
for the Eagles.
What a career revival for him.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
And DR3's been even better this year, but DR3 is in his second year, so it's not as surprising. And right as I talk good about Buckley, he throws a pick. I think that's... Oh, it's Malik Hooker. I was going to say that's Dante Jackson because of the hair. And I know Dante Jackson's on this team, but I guess Hooker does too. How good is he? He's like high 80s, probably like an 88. I did just franchise tag him, so he is quite expensive. So I would need something of your team that's like making a lot of money because I know you're low in cap space. But I'm definitely willing to trade him. DR3 off his back foot with a nuke for the end zone, and that was nearly intercepted. If he had made that throw, that would have been beautiful. But unfortunately, he was not able to. Does get that one off despite almost a sack, and now he is 6 for 9. Nice.
To number 25. A 5-yard pickup.
Double oof.
And it's third down.
Now it's 3rd and 5. And DR3 has no time at all to throw it. And this is turning into a defensive battle now. Eagles will still get another opportunity to drive down and score. Boomy traded Gore, Renfro, a 1st and a 3rd for Hopkins, only to flip him for the 28th pick a season later. Yeah, that trade looks rough. Wait, what happened? How did the Cougars have it at the 24? What did I just miss? Oh, they went for it on 4th down. I'm stupid. I was looking at the chat for 30 seconds, and I assumed they were going to punt it. That's why I didn't look. They went for it on like a 4th and 5. And they still don't score anyway because they don't know how to manage the clock. But still, good work, Chicago. They fooled me.
End of the first half with the score all tied.
Got a tight end at 81 who's a little bit overpaid. Well, Hawkins is making a lot, but he's only on a 1-year deal. So the Eagles have 5 rushing yards. I mean, you can't really blame Gore because they haven't really tried to run it.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
So Boomy really turned a 1st, a 3rd, an X-Factor running back, And so far this year, one of the best receivers in the league. He really turned all that into Andy Morrison. Well, I mean, at least Boomy is improving as a GM. At least he's improving. There's still work to do, but he's gotten better. I'll give him credit. Second and 8, DR3 lobs it out of bounds. Major walk D indeed. Third and 8, nice catch. I didn't think he was going to hold on to that. We know both of these offenses can be very good. They have been very good for the most part this year. Particularly Chicago's, but of course the Eagles has too. But ever since those first drives, these offenses have done nothing. You see who what was. I'm confused. Kidd's numbers are not too bad. 8 carries, 37 yards. That's like a good 4.5 per touch. That's pretty solid. Although Joe Mixon is certainly missed, Kidd is definitely a fine backup. Your tight end? Oh, I'm not sure, but he's probably worse than Hawk. Then again, pretty much every tight end is worse than Hawk. Why does it say no huddle? Oh. It looks like there's an injury. Yeah, Milner is hurt. Why would it say no huddle then? Because Madden is broken? You want Hockey as a cool name? He does have a cool name. I second that. How much was the tight end franchise tag last year? He's got to be making at least like 15. I think. Six more for Malachi Kidd. He is at the 30. And Chicago appears to be churning the wheels. I think that's Conley, who's done pretty much nothing today, surprisingly. 4 catches, 52 yards. Okay, maybe he isn't doing nothing. Or maybe that isn't Conley. No, that is Conley. Okay. So he has done something. He just hasn't done anything, like, special. OFL Ingram better than OFL Hawk. I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm really not, because OFL Ingram's kind of a machine. Hey, Eagles, can you guys lose so I can win the division? I mean, the Eagles are certainly going to make it tough, it looks like, this year. Dallas appears to suck, but the other 3 teams through 4 weeks all look playoff caliber. Nice touchdown for good old number 80, whoever that is. I can't tell. But he scored, and that's all that matters. So the Cougars are the first team today to score a touchdown, even though it took over 2.5 quarters. You want I don't think Nick wants to trade Ingram, whereas I do want to trade Hawk. So Hawk is probably your guy here. Boykin, okay, Boykin had that one really nice catch earlier, I think, too.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Is Evan Ingram the best tight end in the OFL? That's a good question. He's up there. I don't know if he's the best, but he's up there. There aren't a lot of elite tight ends in the OFL, mainly because Madden doesn't throw it to the tight end a ton. Guys like Kelsey and Kittle never get over 1,000 yards, even though they should, especially Kelsey.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5.
People still think the NFC is way better than the AFC now. It's crazy. I mean, the NFC definitely is still better. I think the AFC, put it this way, I think the AFC's closed the gap a little bit. Nice run by Gore. He got about 20. I think the NFC's better, but I think there are more good teams in the AFC than there were, say, 2 years ago. Obviously, all the AFC West is still good, although the Chargers don't appear to be that spectacular this year, even though they look good week 1. The AFC North, I mean, the Cougars look better than they have been, which says a lot because they've been quite good. Rest of the division still looks shaky. The AFC South appears to be good. I don't think we've had 3 teams in that division all good at once. But if Jacksonville picks it up, and of course Indy's good, and Houston is surprisingly good, and then the AFC East, that division still kind of sucks. So I would say the NFC is still noticeably better, but the AFC's improving. I think Ingram's been close to 1,000. And Ingram always has really good watch games, which is certainly a big deal. I think Darren Waller's probably up there. I was surprised when Noob let Waller go last year because I don't think he was asking for that much. And then no one signed him. I almost did, but I didn't because we didn't need him. Although I'd probably choose Waller over Hawkinson, to be honest. As Jaden O'Neal is now injured. O'Neal had 2 sacks today, so that's a pretty big loss. I remember Boomy tried Hopkins for the 4th pick and another guy, and then went for 28. Yeah, that is quite the drop-off. Although, to be fair, he couldn't have got a quarterback at 4 unless he wanted Morrison there, which would have been pretty bad. Eek. Imagine if he picked Morrison at 4. That would have been a disaster. Buckley gets it to one of the white guys. I can't tell if that's it. Oh, that was Renfro. Okay, there we go. Cougars add a touchdown. They are now up 10-3, but the Eagles are in the red zone, and they have an opportunity to tie it, as it looks like both offenses are finally going to show up here in the second half. Remember in a watch game versus Mexico City, Evan Ingram had like 10 catches in the first half? Yeah, he's pretty good. We're going to meme on the Chargers or what? If the Chargers lose again this week, then yeah. If they fall to 1-4, their season, I don't want to say it's done per se, but it wouldn't be looking good. Buckley sacked again. Will Malden this time gets to the quarterback. Second, is that an offensive tackle? No, that's King Horse. Okay. I thought that was one of the offensive linemen for a second. I was like, what? Back on draft day, Boomy offered D-Hop for pick 25 and 26. And then he only got 28. 3rd and goal. Why didn't he run it in? That was like the Aaron Rodgers play in the NFC Championship where he could have ran it in. Although this one was from a little bit farther out, but I feel like Buckley wasted a major opportunity there. I almost called him Bustley, which would have been kind of funny. I mean, you can't really go undrafted and be considered a bust, can you? I remember when everyone, including us, really wanted Buckley. I thought FG really made an undrafted superstar X-Factor quarterback. But Buckley, through 3 years, has been a disappointment, but today, or this year, he's been quite good, of course. That was dangerous. Corner really could have made a play on that ball.
Intended for Miles Boykin. Incomplete. He was covered by Christian Fulton.
Second and 10. Weathersby is hurt. Didn't Weathersby have like 3 sacks in a game earlier in the year? So that's kind of big. Is he going to the locker room? Yes, he is. Wow. There's a timeline where Austin Buckley was supposed to be my quarterback, but the 8-ball didn't help us. I guess the 8-ball did help us, because then we had another year of Drew Lock. We realized he wasn't it, and we were able to get Chip.
The pass complete to number 15. A gain of 14. First down, Chicago.
First down from the 38. DR3 is slammed to the ground by Sherwood for a loss of 13. Who is on the Bengals? Pretty much just Lamar Jackson. It's pretty much just the Lamar Jackson show. They do have a few other good players. I know Yannick Ngakoue had like 4.5 sacks earlier this year in a game. But, I mean, it's mainly Lamar. I got Chivin fraud out of it, so it all worked out. 3rd and 9, incomplete. The Eagles have not scored a touchdown today, but now would be a pretty good time to do so, if I do say so myself. What's good, Pog? Welcome in, my guy. You guys won your Week 4 game, 30-6, over Riley Painter and the Dolphins. So, a pretty good start to the stream for you guys. I'm pretty sure the Cardinals have a bye week this week. So, Arizona did not lose in today's stream. So, if you need a running back, call Cincinnati, because they have one. His name is Lamar Jackson. Wow, nice throw. Why is Gore in the zone? Gore has not been that good today. I mean, he hasn't been bad, but this feels like an odd time to put him in the zone when he has like 30 rushing yards. And then Buckley launches an absolute nuke, incomplete, but there's a flag. That might be defensive pass interference. Wow, Jair Alexander brings him to the 19. That's huge. That's what she said. I'm sorry, I had to. But wow, that's the biggest play of the game so far. Starting to work on a MyLink that is all the players fake. Well, I imagine that's going to take a lot of time, so good luck, my guy. If you get Lamar next year, you're converting him to running back. I'm pretty sure he's at least in the 80s at running back, maybe higher. It's not like he throws the ball all that well in this league. I mean, he has his good moments, but he's super inconsistent. Kind of want to make it a sim-link just because that'd be very, very, very cool. A sim-link with all fake guys certainly would be cool. I mean, that'd be a challenge to pull off. But, if you can pull it off, that'd be impressive. 3rd and 4, they're going to... What the heck was that? He could have had the first down and then just stutter step backwards. Okay, the Eagles had so many chances today, and they failed every time. They do not deserve to win the game. And then, now that I say that, they're probably going to score here. On 4th and 4. Well, they're not going to score, it looks like, but they do get the first. Wonder who's going to be the projected top 3. Well, certainly Mahomes. Probably Lamar. And probably Josh Allen. I would guess it would be probably those 3. Is Gore in? He is in, and the Eagles finally will score a touchdown. So they take the lead with 1:56 to go. Can potential MVP candidate Daniel Romer III lead his team down the field, because another potential MVP candidate, Austin Buckley, just did. Even though there were a few ugly plays on that drive, they still did it. Basically all fake until unimportant guys below 80 is just renamed and relooked. Working on an all-fictional league on 2K with fake players. Think it might drop. Been working on it for a week. Seems like you two have the same idea. Flank the tank! Proof the NFL was rigged. Well, this isn't the NFL, unfortunately. So Jackson Apple, well, I mean, it seems like they had the same idea. So if I was them, I would probably try to join forces on this. It would definitely be a lot easier to pull off with 2 people rather than 1. Put it that way. Don't think this is a coincidence. Maybe it isn't.
The pass. Complete to number 88.
Now up a 42. All the Cougars need is a field goal to tie it, and that's not going to help. Jose Bonsuave, the former #1 overall pick, gets a sack. I think we have a burner situation. Time to kick them both. That'd be funny if they're both always active in the streams at the same time and they're the same person. That'd be funny. Octi scripts the OFL. Ding, ding, ding. I've coded into Madden. Wow, it's a hold. They're probably going to accept that, I think, yeah. But this is all totally scripted. Yeah. Incomplete. If the Eagles actually pull this off, that'd be something. Most annoying part is scrolling through the 2K team design section, because they're, especially on next gen, for me at least, it was very hard to find good rebrands for the Cavs series, because not all of the jersey people who make good jerseys of next gen. So it's definitely a challenge. And then even for current gen, it's probably a little bit harder because some people have moved to next gen. 4th and 23. This is it. He's got to take a shot deep. He will, and it's out of bounds. Since there's 40 seconds, and since they only have 2 timeouts, the Eagles are somehow going to win it. Yeah, all they just have to do is kneel it. Wow. So in a rather ugly game, where if I'm being honest, it really didn't look like either team deserved to win, the Eagles found a way to do it, 13-10. What a check down. Octi loves watching Cougar domination. That's why he made his list of the Cougars. If I loved Cougar domination, I would have let the Cougars win today. It's been Octi who's forced losing my team. Yes. I was the one who chose the Kansas City Chiefs to beat us. If I wanted us to be 3-1, I would have given us a different team to lose to other than the Chiefs. DR3 was fine. Buckley was fine as well. They weren't spectacular, but neither of them were bad either. Malachi Kidd was pretty good. I don't know why Gore only got the ball 7 times. He did lead the game in catches, 2nd in yards, and a touchdown. Conley was solid. Renfro was... A lot of sacks in this game. 2 for O'Neal, 1 for Bonsuave, Sherwood, and Molden, and an interception for Malik Hooker. So are the Raiders that bad and watched? Maybe. Eagles have less yards in every way. Yeah, they did. And they still won, which is pretty odd. Both teams had a lot of chances to win the game earlier, and they just didn't. Okay, before we sim, I forgot to do this after week 4, but what happened to Dak? Because it looked like he got hurt during the week 4 game. Ooh, Terrence Weathersby pulled his groin. Ugh. Dak suffered a knee cartilage tear. He's out 5 weeks. So it'll be Jalen Hurts in at quarterback for the Texans. So that means Houston's going to go 5-0, right? Because that's how this works. All right, boys, time to lose. Regular quarterback throws 100. Yeah, they did good. Smirnov throws 300. Octi could do better. Well, that's because we hold the expectations for Smirnov, because he's better than a regular quarterback. Alexei Smirnov is probably the best quarterback in the league. So, I promise it's because I think Smirnov's good. Oh, wow, Dallas won? Who did they play? Whoever they played is about to get memed. Columbus wins, and the Bulldogs lose again. Wow, so the Caps are now solely in first place. Wow, the Niners got pummeled by the Steamers, 42-7, 186 rushing yards. What did Jalen Reagor do? Josh Allen didn't even do that well. And then Herbert sucked. Herbert threw 3 touchdowns last week. Jalen Reagor only had 70 yards. So just everybody did well. Yeah, Tajik, the fullback, had 11 for 55. Berrios had 40. Hell, even Danny Dimes had a touchdown somehow. That doesn't make sense, but okay. Wait. So Josh Allen is your starting quarterback. How did both Daniel Jones and Josh Rosen get carries? Huh. Cole Kmet and Vernon Carter, the 2 tight ends, both score. Ayuka's been really quiet with San Francisco. And he was a machine in Vegas. Go through your receivers after the game. Okie dokie, I can do that, Chief. Smirnoff was born in a tube and was made for football. I agree with that. Wow, a lot of interceptions, and Khalil Mack had 2 sacks. Okay, Indy, the Colts are 4-1. Jacksonville had 300. Wow, the Colts didn't even throw the ball that well. Eddie Small did not turn it over, but he didn't even play that well, and they still won. Joe Burrow was pretty good. Nice completion percentage. Steelers lost. Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say, if someone good lost to the Cowboys, eek. Saquon Barkley was outstanding. David Njoku had 2 touchdowns last week, too. David Njoku's on fire right now. Okay, so Adam Troutman, I think, is the Colts tight end. Yeah, you want Hawk. You definitely want Hawk. Darius Leonard had a nice game. The Colts had 4 wins last year, and now they're already 4-1. And this isn't even a surprise. The Jets are 1. So the 2 teams who made the AFC Championship last year are 1-4, and the Jets' lone win is against Jacksonville. Huh. Imagine thinking Eddie Small is going to win MVP. Yeah, I think I got that one wrong. I definitely think I got that one wrong. I mean, he definitely has the team success. Has not been outstanding. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, though. Derrick Henry was better this week, but that doesn't say a whole lot. Larry Maxwell, the big performance. He scores twice. And poor Kyler Murray still has to be a backup. Where's the next team Kyler Murray's going to go to? Because if he doesn't get traded, which Portland will be making a mistake not to, but if he doesn't get traded, assuming they don't re-sign him, where is he going to end up in the offseason? Do I want Adam? I mean, if he's not overpriced, then sure. Because I don't think we have a good backup tight end. Ooh, so the Caps beat Detroit. That's a pretty big win because Detroit is a pretty good team. Russell Wilson threw 4 touchdowns. Carson Wentz threw 3. So it looks like both quarterbacks were very good. Wentz did not have a high completion percentage, though. Todd Gurley was fine. Mark Blaylock was not. Yes, Columbus, for one time, Nick wants the Caps to win. Hooper scores twice. Smirnoff for MVP. Gotta screenshot that. Imagine if Smirnoff gets second again. That'd be a little bit sad. Team success shouldn't matter. It's not just team success because I've always thought QB wins is stupid. So I do agree with that. But to be the most valuable player, I feel like your team does have to be somewhat good. But I do agree that team success is overrated. Ooh, Green Bay beats Toronto. So the Thunderbirds, just like last year, suck to start the year. Time to fall to 1-4. There you go. Despite 4 touchdowns from Norris Doris. However, he was outplayed by Katie Katz. 439 yards, 3 touchdowns. So both rookie quarterbacks were really good. Aaron Jones was fine, too. Kasim Lamb with a big game. James Singleton played well. So, just like last year, just like how Darnold led these scrubs, now it's Katie Katz leading these scrubs. Michael Gallup scored 3 times. So Toronto's going to go 9-7 and win the division again, aren't they? Because that's how this works. Think your team has to at least make the play. I agree with that. I think if you're a playoff team and you're really good, you deserve to be in the running. Carolina had a bye week. New England won. So New England and Dallas both won. So that means there's nobody who's undefeated and there's nobody who's winless. Interesting. Teddy was, again, quite bad. Hawthorne was not that good either. Curtis Samuel scores twice. The defense allowed 500 yards to an offense whose quarterback is Katie Katz and whose top receivers are Kasim Lamb, James Singleton, and Quinn Waters. And they allowed 500. That's pretty embarrassing. Although Katie Katz appears to be kind of good. Apple, I wouldn't be overly excited about Tennessee losing because the Titans are not a threat to win the division. I think the Texans might be. I think the Jags are, but the Titans suck. The Raiders win again. They are now 4-1. They won in overtime. Marvin Jones and Lamar Jackson were both pretty good. They both got sacked 3 times, though. And you wonder why I wanted Okuda. Well, now that makes a lot of sense. C. Bush, again, was solid. Roy Kenyon, a nice game. DJ Chark, over 100 yards. Nice amount of yards for Britton Jennings. Rams lose again to the Bills. Were the Rams just a one-year wonder or something? And again, Keith was pretty good. Okay, that explains. They got torched by Matthew Stafford. OFL Season 4 Matthew Stafford is not good, so you don't really want to get torched by him. But maybe the Rams are a one-year wonder. I mean, I don't think they are because wow, Blake Brigham had 2 catches and they were both touchdowns. It appears Keith Priolio is still good, so I think the Rams can get back on track. But they're not looking good. Ooh, look at this. Adrian Asplaster, 1.5 sacks, along with Cole Rhodes. But Asplaster's cooler. And the Ravens lose only by 4. 360 passing yards. Did Andy Morrison do a thing? Yeah, he was kind of good. It was better than Hurts. Who had 3 rushing touchdowns? 3 carries, 8 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Carlos Beasley. What a stat line. Terry McLaurin was very good, despite the loss. You want to see a Woomy? Well, unfortunately, it's a Loomy. But they kept it close against a team who is surprisingly 4-1. Saints at a bye week. Sentinels beat the Chiefs. Kansas City lost again. And again, it looks like not to the fault of Scooter. Scooter played quite well, but Tua Tagovailoa threw 4 touchdowns. Your defense allowed 513 yards. That's pretty bad. Marlon Mack was even good. So maybe Kansas City's not as good as their 3-0 record showed. Although Scooter played well in both losses, you got to give him credit. He was quite good. But maybe Cobra did a little bit too much talking a little bit too soon. Discord memes. Look now. Okay. Oh, Cobra. We already saw that score. We saw that one. So Dallas puts up 35 on the Steelers. So maybe the Jacob Eason hype train kind of stops after 1 week. Yeah. He threw 4 interceptions. Matt Woodard was quite good. Kareem Hunt was also quite good. He ran for 153 yards. Looks like both teams actually allowed a lot of sacks. Garrison Parks, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks for Carlton Wheatley, former, I think, top 5 pick. Shaq Griffin had 2 interceptions. The Texans won, Toronto lost, Titans lost, Bengals lost, Bills won, Bucks won. They beat the Bulldogs. So the 2 teams who were undefeated going into today's stream both lost each of their games, and all of the winless teams won. Check injuries. We always do injuries at the end, so we won't miss that. Jordan Love and Deshaun Watson were both fine. Watson was better than he was last week. McCaffrey was way better than Zeke. What are the Bucks? Like 3-2? I think they're 3-2. I expected regression from the Bucks. I picked them to finish last in the division, mainly because the NFC South is really good, and they're only half a game back of being last place. So that's not unreasonable. Bulldogs lost, Caps won, Cardinals at a bye week. We put up 51 on the Chargers. Dear Lord, this defense is bad. Hold on. The Chargers have allowed 28, 49, 24, 42, and 51. And we didn't even get that many yards for scoring 51. Phil Chippendale wasn't even all that good. He was better than IT. Dalvin Cook scores twice. Tyler Lockett with a touchdown. We have defensive touchdowns, special teams touchdowns. What happened? This is unbelievable. The Chargers defense is so horrendously bad. Myles Garrett had 3 sacks. Who had all the other touchdowns? Derwin James had 1. Did we have a special teams touchdown? Tyler Lockett had a kick. So Tyler Lockett scored 3 times today. Or no, twice. Yeah, twice. Which team's defense is worse? Toronto's? Definitely San Diego's. I mean, your defense has been bad, Nick, but this is just, ugh. This is rough. The L stands for what a loss, nerds. Next week is going to be Raiders versus Diablos to see who's first place in the West. Is that true? No, we play the Ravens. We play the Raiders week 9. Oh, so we should go 1-0 next stream. Next stream is going to be easy. Now that I say that, Andy Morrison's going to completely torch us. We are on the... Is that everybody? No, Dolphins. Dolphins had a bye week. I think that's it. Yeah, all right. It's not your fault. I mean, IT did not play that well, but no, it is definitely not your fault. So how many teams have 1 loss? The Raiders, Caps, Colts, Texans, and Diablos are 4-1. The Steamers and Panthers are 3-1. And then the 1-4 teams are Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Jacksonville, the Jets, Chargers, Rams, and Thunderbirds. And then there's some 1-3 teams as well. Look at all these playoff teams from last year. Toronto, LA, Chargers, Jets, Jags. What has happened? And then of these good teams, Colts weren't a playoff team last year. Texans weren't. Steamers weren't. Panthers weren't. Looking at the division standings, the Cougars still lead in the North because everybody in this division lost. I'll show you your wide receivers at the end, don't worry. Colts and Texans are both 4-1. It looks like they'll be battling it out for the South. Diego, honestly, you kind of should. I agree. Wish we played San Diego this season. That'd be like the 2018 Chiefs-Rams game. That's so true. Who do the Raiders play Week 6? We'll see the Week 6 schedule in just a second. Wow, look at that point differential. And the Raiders got blown out Week 1. So the Raiders have literally been the best team in the league the past 2 weeks. Or I guess the past 2 streams, I should say. 3 teams over 500 in the NFC North. The only team under 500 is Toronto of all teams. 194 points allowed through 5 weeks. That's really bad. That's like 40 points a game. Yikes. Yikes. That's really bad. Who's going to sign IT in the offseason then? I wonder. That's a good question. Let's take a look at the schedule for next week. Caps Bulldogs is a good game. Chargers Sentinels. We'll see a lot of points. Ravens Diablos maybe. Packers Lions is kind of a good game. Both of these teams have been impressive. Dolphins Texans isn't bad. Niners Cardinals. Panthers Saints. Chiefs Raiders. Hey, maybe we'll actually watch the Chiefs and Raiders this time. Thunderbird Steamers maybe. Raiders OFL Bowl contenders. They definitely look like it. Week 7, Cardinals, Rams, Thunderbirds, Jags. I mean, a lot of these teams are disappointing, but they're still good games. Bucks, Chargers. Again, a lot of points. Caps, Ravens, Panthers, Chiefs. Eagles, Sentinels, Saints, Steamers. Niners, Lions. Interesting slate the next 2 weeks. Packers. I would like to see the Packers and Lions. That game is definitely high on my list. I would like to watch that. Players of the week, Katie Katz, Andy Morris. Wow, the 2 rookies. Shaquille Griffin and Joe Scobert. All right, let's see all the injuries. That's not injuries. That's re-signings. Jaquan Gore wants 5 years, 27, by the way. Anything new? Malik Claiborne. Is that new? I don't know. Maybe. Jonah Williams and Brandon Linder. Are those new? They might be. I think so. So the Jags have got hammered by injuries thus far. Aaron Nash. I don't think that's new. I think he was already hurt. Darius Slay. That's not new. Dante Fowler and Darius Geis. I think those are new. Leonard Fournette, I think, is new. Abdul Wright, torn pec. Done for the year. Poor guy. Kamara only has 5 more weeks. Joe Mixon only has 3. Morales only has 2. And that's everybody. I will show your wide receivers now. Darnell Savage do be back. Of your top 3, they're all pretty much equal. Damn, Godwin's a 99. Is that with morale? No, he's just outright at 99 overall. And then Arnold and Duvernay are 94 speed. So, yeah, that will conclude the stream pretty much. Week 6 and 7 will probably be this weekend. And then that'll bring us to the trade deadline. I think I'll probably, like, delay between 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Just so we have time for the trade deadline, since the start of the season has been quite fast. But, yeah, 2 more weeks in the books. Learn a lot more about these teams, and we know that the Chargers defense is an absolute train wreck.